Hi guys, I'm Charlie, your Charlie Book Fanatic. Welcome back to my channel. And if you think the background is very bad, that is actually true because I am in the process of moving and all of my books are packed. Soon enough the background will be different again, but for now we will have to deal with this. Today I am going to talk to you about the books I want to be reading in June. The first book I'm actually currently reading in May at the time of filming this, and I'm actually going to finish that tomorrow, and then it is the 31st of May, so I will already have finished the first book on my June TBR in May, which is kind of funny. The title of the first book is I Tell You I Love You But Then I'd Have to Kill You, and it is by Ali Carter. This is the first book in the Gallagher Girls series. It is a spy series taking place in an all-girls school. And I'm actually really enjoying this. It sounded like a guilty pleasure kind of read, just like a selection series, but I'm actually kind of enjoying the writing, and I think I'm going to continue on with this series, see where it goes. The premise of the story is that our main character is a spy. She's being trained to be a spy. Her mother is the headmistress of this school. She then falls in love with a normal guy who can't know she's a spy, and she has no clue how to act. And it's a book all about friendship as well, because she has these two other spy friends, and then a totally normal girl joins her school, and she's kind of bitchy, but they are in the process of becoming friends right now, and she's helping them with her boy issues, and it's all really cute so far. It's probably only like little stories in every single book. There are a total of 6 books in the main series and a couple of novellas, but I am excited to continue on with this and talking to you about it in probably my May wrap-up. I'm also participating in the Popsugar challenge, and this book counts for a book with love in the title. The next book is a book that counts for mythology, and that is Circe by Madeline Miller. This is a standalone book about the mythological character of Circe. This book wasn't on my TBR in the first place, but I have heard a lot of good things about it, and I saw a booktuber talking about it recently, and I was like, fine, I need to read a book about mythology anyway. I don't have any books with mythology in it on my TBR. Let's try a book by Madeline Miller. I have no clue about Greek mythology, so I will just read you the synopsis. In the house of Helios, god of the sun and mightiest of the Titans, a daughter is born. But Circe is a strange child, not powerful like her father, nor viciously alluring like her mother. Turning to the world of mortals for companionship, she discovers that she does possess power. The power of witchcraft, which can transform rivals into monsters and menace the gods themselves. Threatened, Zeus banishes her to a deserted island where she hones her occult craft, tames wild beasts, and crosses paths with many of the most famous figures in all of mythology, including the Minotaur, Daedalus and his doomed son Icarus, the murderous Medea, and of course a wily Odysseus. But there is danger too for a woman who stands alone, and Circe unwittingly draws the wrath of both men and gods, ultimately finding herself pitted against one of the most terrifying and vengeful of the Olympians. To protect what she loves most, Circe must summon all her strength and choose, once and for all, whether she belongs with the gods she is born from or the mortals she has come to love. It sounds very exciting about Circe being a witch and her being in this kind of struggle, like choosing between two worlds. Very exciting, don't know anything about Greek mythology. And I had to read a book with an amateur detective in it, and for this one I'm going with Two for the Dough by Evanovich. This is the second book in the Plum series. I read the first book years ago and I decided to not continue on with the series, but I didn't have any books with amateur detectives on my TBR, so I decided why the heck not and give the second book a try, see if I still don't want to continue on with the series. The series follows an amateur detective called Plum. The first book has also been made into a movie. It's called One for the Money. It stars Katherine Heigl, and I think it is very fun. I really liked the first book. I just didn't feel like continuing on with it because that is romance story that with kind of a morally grey character that I didn't really enjoy, and I didn't really see why I would continue on with it since the first book was wrapped up so well. But for now I am going to try the second book and see if I like it more. Plum is in this book still a bounty hunter, and she's after someone new in this book, trying to solve a case again. She's trying to get to the bottom of this with help from her grandma and her friend Ranger. The last book I want to read is a book with the word challenge in the title, and that is Challenger Deep by Neal Shusterman. I didn't hear a lot of good things about Challenger Deep, but I am curious enough to try and pick it up. I have never read anything by Neal Shusterman before. I haven't read Scythe or anything, so this will be my first foray into his works. This is kind of a metaphorical novel diving into the topic of mental illness, and I think Neal Shusterman's son is suffering from this particular mental illness in this book. He has secondhand experience with it through his son. The description is very vague, so again I'll just read it to you because I can't really summarize it. Caden Boss is on a ship that's headed for the deepest point on Earth, Challenger Deep, the southern part of the Marianas Trench. Caden Boss is a brilliant high school student whose friends are starting to notice his odd behavior. Caden Boss is designated the ship's artist in residence to document your journey with images. Caden Boss pretends to join the school track team but spends his days walking for miles, absorbed by the thoughts in his head. Caden Boss is split between his allegiance to the captain and the allure of mutiny. Caden Boss is torn. So that doesn't really describe anything except that it has something to do with a ship and the sea, but I really have no clue what it's about. But I guess I'm going to find out and tell you about it in my wrap-up. So this was my June TBR. Let me know down below whether you've read any of these books and what you think about them, or what are you going to read in June. I would love to know. Thank you for watching. Goodbye!